Did you know the Bible's shortest book packs God's fiercest judgment against an entire nation? Only 21 verses deliver a thunderous prophecy against Edom, Judah's treacherous brother. This tiny scroll, often overlooked, roars with divine justice. Hey there! If these Bible stories are helping you grow in God's Word, please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a new summary. Let's keep spreading the word, one story at a time. God bless you. Now let's continue. This is a story about Edom's pride and Judah's hope. The word of the Lord came to Obadiah concerning Edom. We have heard a report from the Lord. A messenger was sent among the nations announcing judgment. Rise up, let us go against Edom for battle. The Lord declared destruction upon the descendants of Esau, the brother of Jacob. Edom lived in the seemingly impregnable mountain fortress of Seir, carved high in the rocky cliffs. They felt utterly secure, dwelling among the stars, thinking no one could bring them down. But the Lord declared he would bring them down completely. Thieves steal only what they want. Grape gatherers leave some gleanings, but Edom would be ransacked entirely. Their hidden treasures plundered, their allies betraying them, friends deceiving them. Even their famed wisdom, embodied into man, would perish. Their mighty warriors would be terrified, cut down on the day of the Lord's judgment against all nations. Why? Because of the violence done to their brother Jacob. The core indictment against Edom was their treacherous betrayal when disaster struck Judah, their brother nation. They stood aloof, callously watching as strangers carried off Jerusalem's wealth, as foreigners entered its gates and cast lots for its treasures. Worse, Edom actively participated in Judah's downfall. They became like one of Judah's enemies. On that day, the day Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians, Edom gloated over Judah's distress. They rejoiced over the destruction of the sons of Judah. They boasted proudly in the day of Judah's calamity. They seized the opportunity to loot Judah's devastated cities. They blocked the escape routes, capturing fleeing refugees and handing them over to the invaders. They cut off the survivors. This was no mere neutrality. It was malicious familial betrayal. For this violence against their brother Jacob, shame would cover Edom, and they would be destroyed forever. The Lord saw Edom's heart, their perpetual hatred and hostility. He condemned them for their ancient grudge. The prophecy foretold a devastating reversal. As Edom had done, so it would be done to them. Their deeds would return upon their own head. The nations allied with them would drink the cup of God's wrath upon Mount Zion, but Edom would drink it fully. They would drink and swallow it down, becoming as if they had never existed. There would be no survivor of the house of Esau. The Lord had spoken. Fire would consume the house of Esau, leaving only stubble. The judgment was total, final, and irrevocable. Their mountain stronghold would offer no refuge from the Lord's decree. But the vision did not end with Edom's doom. It turned to hope for Mount Zion. Deliverers would arise on Zion to govern the mountains of Esau. The kingdom would belong to the Lord. The house of Jacob would possess their own possessions once more. The exiles of Israel would return. Those in captivity among the Canaanites as far as Zarephath, and the exiles of Jerusalem in Sepharad would possess the cities of the Negev. The people of God would be restored. They would return, not as victims, but as possessors of the promised land. Fire consumed Edom, but a holy fire refined Zion. The house of Joseph would be aflame, the house of Esau mere stubble consumed by it. The southern cities taken by Edom would be reclaimed by the people returning from exile. Benjamin would possess Gilead. Israelites would possess the territory of the Philistines, Ephraim and Samaria. The fields of Ephraim and Samaria would be theirs. Benjamin would possess Gilead. The returning exiles would occupy Canaanite lands, even to Zarephath near Sidon. The exiles from Jerusalem would possess the towns of the Negev. The deliverers would ascend Mount Zion to rule over the mountains of Esau. the kingdom would belong to the Lord alone. The Lord's justice was not merely punitive, it was restorative for his covenant people. The stark contrast between Edom as fate and Zion as future reveals God's unwavering commitment to justice and his covenant faithfulness. Edom trusted in its lofty heights, military might, and human alliances, a pride that led to its utter downfall. Their betrayal of brotherly bonds, their delight in another's suffering, and their active participation in evil brought irrevocable judgment. God sees the violence of the proud and the plight of the oppressed. Zion, though judged for its own sins, received mercy because God remembers his promises. Restoration came not through their power, but through the Lord's sovereign decree. The kingdom is the Lord's. He humbles the arrogant and exalts the humble who seek him. His justice, though sometimes delayed, is certain and complete, ensuring evil does not triumph forever, and his purposes for his people will ultimately prevail. This is the enduring message echoing from the cliffs of Seir to the hills of Zion. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this summary, please hit that like button and leave us a comment on where you are watching us from.